Thank you, Matt. Continuing our team coverage now, local security experts are weighing in on how schools and other organizations train and prepare for an active shooter situation. Western Mass News reporter Maria Wilson joins us live in studio with more. Maria.
Mary, mass shootings like the one yesterday in Nashville often call into question school security and safety. We brought our questions to one local expert who says preparation and confidence are key. John Nettis is the owner of Protective Advanced Safety Services in Agawam, which provides active shooter training for schools, houses of worship, and other organizations. Nettis tells Western Mass News his company has been flooded with calls following yesterday's shooting. He tells us more about their training sessions.
We do the tell, show, do practice. First we tell them, then we show them, and then we have them practice. There's an element of anxiety there, but that's where the breathing comes in. So if we can get them to the threshold where they can manage that type of stress and then think through the incident, then God forbid if the incident does occur, at least they've had one experience in training.
Nettis says while each mass shooting is tragic, there are lessons to be learned, which his company is able to analyze and implement into their training programs. Reporting live in studio, Maria Wilson, Western Mass News.